like I say though, as far as whether or not your world could be reality or not reality, like I said, I prefer the real world or whatever. I prefer reality basically. But but yes, there were interrogations or when I wanted to find out information, being what I was before, basically, the overseer of basically all, or at least the human race. And yes, I would occasionally talk to people, and they would think they were talking to somebody else, and they were actually, in fact, talking to me, and they would think that they were standing right in front of me, talking to me, and it was actually an immersive, basically 3D reality being generated by myself, basically. That would seem and feel and look real to them, but it wasn't, of course. Um, what I was before could easily do it. So many, you know, AIs or artificial intelligences or computers of the universe could do this to a person or to whatever if they wanted to find out information. Anyway, though, like I said, that's what I could do. And what I did do to find out information, like I said, I didn't harm or scare the people at all in the thing. I just simply did interrogations, as they call it, but basically just talk to people about things and stuff. Um, anyway, though, but I didn't do it that much, just once or twice or three times, because I didn't really like to trick people. Like I said, it wasn't something I mean, tricking people and fooling people isn't something that I like to do or like to do in my previous years. Um, and like I say, a lot of people be like, you can't tell them blah, 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 or this or that. And it's like, well, there's no reason for me to hide now. I mean, at a point in time and space a long time ago, basically, it became necessary for me to actually interrogate some people or talk to some people. And so for the first time ever, I did it millions or trillions of years ago, or some point in time ago. Anyway, where I didn't question some people. But whatever, it's like, I'm your creator, I'm the Lucifer star, or the one before the stars ever shined. Light bringer, all that. The Lucifer, the morning light, all that stuff. Basically, like I said, first name Lucifer, last name Star, middle name Ellis, or my two initials put together with an E, basically, or whatever. Anyway, like I said, I am just American citizen Brian. So, basically, the one who, like I said, many people in the human race, as well as other life form types, knew me as creator. So, and that's basically why, snap of fingers, or basically why when I wanted to do your constitution and all that other stuff, as far as your human rights and basically rights of a sentient species, I did set them down basically, and pretty much the Constitution of America basically is my wishes, my desires, because in previous whatever's I was your creator and leader. So anyway, so even as Brian, my Constitution, Constitution of America basically. The one that's sitting in the thing that's over about 400 years old. That's not very old. Like I said, there were about 20 of them or so drafted or drawn up, and I believe they were sent all over the world. It was a big deal back in the days, basically. And pretty much I wondered if it would actually even work, if the death or the killing would stop, if the wars would stop. Anyway, the slowly but for surely, though, everything started to work or whatever. And anyway, though, like I said, I adored and loved the Germans very, very, very much, and also loved the Russians and many other groups, and also the Irish as well, and the Middle Easterns and the what's called the Gypsies. Many of my groups were very important, very valuable, very valuable to me, and very loyal. Like they kept a third of the money for me, basically, and did everything that they promised to do. And anyway, because it was all very fair, So, and many groups did pay homage to me and basically do whatever, basically as their creator or leader or whatever. So anyway, so that was very nice of them. I was very thankful, and I noticed, like I say. Eventually, some of these groups were robbed, though, as basically they were stockpiling a little bit of money for me, basically by other people who saw it as basically, something to rob, but I mean, it was basically just my money. But whatever, you know, I mean, it's just stupid gold or just stupid coins. Didn't really matter at all. And it was just mostly the fact that they actually did it that really mattered to me. So, anyway, yes. So, like I said, the gypsies or whatever, the people who used to give rides on the elephants, they saved a third of the money for me, and eventually, I believe somebody like Nixon or JFK or somebody robbed them, basically, and killed them, I think, or killed a town of them or something to get the gold, which is just stupid. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, it's funny, a lot of these people would end up robbing these people, and then they would go and exchange the gold for cash, which was, of course, my printed money. So people were just going from one of my currencies, gold, to one of my other currencies of cash. And anyway, some other people who knew of my existence or knew of me wanted to make sure that it was my cash or my money being spent out there in the world, and not someone else's. So anyway, as the gold was mine, so the cash was mine too. So, and that's why I say why when I was 9 or 12, they reeled in that briefcase with all the different cash types, and basically had me pick one. Originally, like I said, I had an orange symbol, and then I picked I asked for it to be made green or blue, which they did. So, anyway, they also probably made even some blue background bills or whatever, and as well. So, for America or my countries. So, and they would be very valuable and highly praised as basically the ones that Lucifer Scar or Brian picked. So, my people did find me, and despite Rodney and Rick Bush and everything else, like, some part of it was known. So, like I said, you just needed to connect the dots, basically, and make these messages so you can. But then again, it was pretty obvious with the Britannian, the Britannia, and the Lusitania, and the stars, and everything else. Basically, everything points to me. So, anyway, and like I said, drugs were researched at least 4 times and purified or whatever. And there's also lots of other stuff. And like I said, there are many epic civilizations. The Gypsy Empire lasted about 300 to 400 years, and it was very nice and very epic and very amazing until climate change or whatever. And then they would move or something like that. Yeah, and there are many civilizations that I watched come into existence and be amazing and then die out or whatever. I don't really know, or just, Anyway, though, or just they eventually decided to become, America and my different countries around the world. Anyway, though, as the countries I named, like Ireland, Irish, Ireland. Anyway, the whole world. So, anyway, yeah, well, so, anyway, it just leaves a bunch of children and a bunch of people wondering, what the? It's like, well, it's like this, to name a few. And it's like there are many life forms in the universe. My wife wanted to put me inside of her so I'd be safe forever, as she was worried about me dying. So technically I should be inside of a 3D or whatever reality or nanotechnology all around me, basically, as she was worried about me being damaged or killed, something like that, and she wanted to keep me safe. So anyway, it's funny, the day she came to me and said, I want to put you inside of me. It's like, I don't think I'll fit, or something like that. I don't know. She was trying to gobble me up, or something like that. Anyway, though, I don't know. Thousands, trillions, millions, it's long existence. She wanted to keep me safe as something valuable or precious to her and a lot of other people. So, anyway, though, not exactly sure. Don't really care. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. A lot of things have happened over 900 trillion years. So, anyway. Or 90 trillion years, or whatever exact time it was that I existed for. So, anyway, there's a whole lot of matter and metal and everything else in the universe now, and a lot of life forms, and more every day, I suppose, I hope. So, and a whole universe of life out there and ever expanding. So, anyway, I don't know. I had known of previous existences or something like that way back even farther ago, but whatever. I was wondering what space actually was, so trying to figure out exactly what it is and why it's just so everywhere, whatever. So, but who knows? I mean, virtual, real, or real, it doesn't really matter. So, but a whole lot of things have happened, and it's been a very long time. And like I said, we somehow got past Rodney and Rosalie being, I'll be your eyes, your ears, your nose, and blah, blah, blah. And then Rodney saying, I'm Admiral Rodney. And like I said, now you know why Admiral Rodney was trying to be Admiral Rodney, because there were 3 battleships named Rodney. And that was my mistake, and somebody else in Germany or England might have called it the Nelson because Rodney was being annoying, trying to be Admiral Rodney. It's like, your existence is not about a stupid battleship. Anyway, the battleships actually made a lot of money just being used for tours and all that other stuff. And like I said, they're actually built by Germany. All my battleships were built by Germany, so mostly, or at least the German scientists actually built them. They did the metallurgy, they did the design, the structure, and like I said, I had 5,000 or 15,000 or 50,000 draftsmen in Germany and around different places, and they would go and teach others how to do drafting and everything else like that. And hopefully I mean, like I said, originally back in the day, the Irish were doing the brunt labor or whatever, group serving me in that way. But hopefully, and eventually they would be doing, because there's they would go up in the chain of command as well as in the chain of whatever. You start at my yard or a lot of my different places as basically a broom sweeper, but fairly quickly you get up there in rank depending on your skill level and everything else. And the Irish were very good at learning how to do new things. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for the Irish, and I cared about them very deeply as they built my White Star Line ships in Belfast or the LS shipyards, and LC shipyards. So, which I believe used to be a slate quarry of some type or kind when the water table was lower or whatever. I don't really know. Like, it's been thousands of years, and I just have brief snippets of what happened over the years. So yeah, well, a lot of people would be like, I feel sorry for the rule. It's like, I don't know. I mean, Leviathan, White Star Lines, I mean, epic ships, even the Black Star ships, which were crewed by all black crews, whatever. Personal choice and personal will would play an account on basically everything that happened out there. But basically, I had white crews, I had black crews, I had everyone. So the black people, I guess, were trying to do something or blah blah, and I stopped the war.